She followed the photographer around to ensure she was in every single photo. Hi guys, welcome back to another week of me reacting to your wedding stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Just a couple of quick announcements. We hit 25,000 downloads for the podcast. Here comes the drama, and I cannot be more excited. It's just amazing hearing how much you guys love the episodes, and we've got so much more coming for you that I cannot wait to share. The full podcast is now available as a video form right here, only on YouTube. Members of the channel will actually get full access to it first before anybody else on the Monday before the episode comes out. So that's a little extra bonus for channel members. And then everyone will get a teaser to that same video that same day on the Monday. And then everyone will get access to a little teaser for the episode that comes out on Thursday. All right, guys, the story I'm reading this week is very long, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay. It says, "Hello, my name is Emma. All names have been changed. And here's how my narcissistic mother ruined my wedding and planning. I got engaged in February 2019. My husband and I had originally planned for a 2020 wedding, but we quickly realized we didn't want to wait, so we began planning a fall 2019 wedding instead." I don't know what happens in this story, but looking back, I bet they're kind of glad they did it in 2019 because of the craziness of 2020. That's a whole other story. We visited the venue we had always dreamed of, and the banquet coordinator gave us some dates to choose from. I specifically wanted to get married on a Saturday. I didn't want anyone to have to leave work early on a Friday or wake up for work on a Monday if we had a Sunday wedding. We decided to get married on October 12th, which also happened to be my 28th birthday. Yes, I got married on my birthday. Wow, that's pretty cool. Here's the frustrating part. I was so excited to share this news with my extremely narcissistic mother. I called to tell her that we picked a venue and a date. I excitedly shared the details, and her immediate response was, well, that's not gonna work for our family. By our family, she meant her, my useless stepfather, and my half-sister. Keep in mind, this was March, and the wedding wasn't until October, more than 6 months away. Like, how could you know, unless you had like a vacation booked, or I don't even know, like something else big that was like booked and paid for? There's no way you would know a random date 6 months away, which by the way isn't even random, it's her daughter's birthday. So most people won't just book something on their daughter's birthday. So the fact that she's like, it's just not gonna work is very telling. She continued, "Your stepfather has his fishing tournament that weekend, and your sister will have her high school play. Why would you want to take that away from her? For context, my sister is 10 years younger than me." I don't know how all of that works, but wouldn't that be a completely new school year? Because if this is May and you're saying her sister's gonna be in a play in October, wouldn't that be a completely new school year? So how would you know that there's a play that weekend and the sister's gonna be in it? I don't know, maybe I'm completely off. In a fishing tournament? I don't know. Someone can comment if they're into that stuff, and they can say if like this is totally normal. After listening to her criticize me and make me feel awful for being excited about my wedding, she gaslit me by saying, "This is your day, but it's your choice that you don't want your sister and stepfather there. I'll be there, but they won't." She even tried to bribe me with money to change the date, but I refused. So I called my dad, who had been divorced from my mother for 20 years at this point. He was appalled and told me, "Whatever you want." I was confused at first, but then he clarified. He was so upset at my mom that he decided to pay for my entire wedding because, as he put it, "How dare she make you feel like this?" Props to dad. That is so great that he just jumped in and did that. That's gotta be so difficult having like two parents on the complete end of the spectrum. One that's just gonna gaslight you, make you feel bad, put you down, say it's not gonna work for her, and the other dad just like stepping up. Now she lives in Georgia and I live in New England, so she couldn't be there in person to see me try on dresses. I booked an appointment and told her the date and time so I could FaceTime her. This is not the story, by the way, that I just did a little skit about. I'm gonna read this first and then I'll tell you what happens, but this is already reminding me of this other story. I even went alone, thinking it would be a special moment just between us. Wait, I did read this story. She submitted it. Okay, just a little context. This person sent this to me in a DM on Instagram. And so I just share that as like a fun little side story. She didn't give me much context. So this is different. She's giving way more detail, but I have someone else that helps me with planning my YouTube videos, so I don't read them ahead of time. And they picked that same story because we didn't cross paths. But anyways, this is more detail. So it's the same story. Sorry guys, but it's similar. Okay. When I tried on the first dress, she answered, but she was at an appointment with my sister for prom dresses at the exact same time. She had booked an appointment for my sister on the same day and the same time as a wedding dress fitting. Now, that is insane to me because there are so many other days that you could choose from, especially the fact that she included you on this dress fitting that she didn't even need to include you in, and you're gonna book your other daughters. It's almost just like she's more important than you. So I'll be here, but like you're not as important. To make it even worse, while she was there, my sister tried on a white dress that my mom said she was going to buy as her mother the bride dress. No. We don't do that. You know she was doing that to make her feel bad. Okay, this is where last time the story ends, so there's a lot more detail now. People had a lot of questions about it, so here we go. Thankfully, the women at the bridal shop were so kind to help me pick out my dress without her. My fiance was furious at my mother for taking away these joyous moments from me. My dad couldn't believe her selfishness. The entire wedding planning process was stressful because she kept offering to pay for things. My dress, the flowers, the centerpieces, a dinner the night before. But when I actually asked about it, she would freak out and claim she didn't have any money and did not want to contribute to the wedding. She would hold it over my head like a power move. This is what we always talk about when there's people like this. They use money as control and power. They don't actually want to help. There's always those little strings attached. And if they're trying to control things without actually giving a monetary value, they're not even a part of it. So it literally just shows they want to have that control. She even planned a bridal shower I didn't want, just so she could be the center of attention. Finally, the day of my wedding arrived, and just as she said, my stepdad left immediately after the ceremony to catch a flight to his fishing tournament. She made it sound like he could not attend because the tournament was that same weekend. But if he was able to go to the wedding and then just catch a flight, I don't know. It just seems like they're lying about something. I never heard the end of how he had to spend $600 on a plane ticket just to be there. Mind you, I had been a stepdaughter for 25 years. I feel so bad for this bride because they're making it feel like the wedding is such an inconvenience for them. When it's not like the mom just married this guy and he's like a new boyfriend or whatever. They've been together for 25 years. This has been his stepdaughter for 25 years. Any involved, loving parent that I know would immediately, no questions asked, go to the wedding. So this just shows how the relationship is. And as promised, my mother let my sister stay in Georgia for her high school play, where she had 2 lines. There it is. Not saying that's not important. I think 2 lines is just as important as anyone else, but it's the principle of it. She could have missed it. There could have been someone else that covered. We know we have other people that can cover lines. Then my mother spent the entire day making the wedding about her. She followed the photographer around to ensure she was in every single photo. Gotta be the mother of the year, right? She's gotta look beautiful in her dress. I don't know what she wore, doesn't say, but someone like that, again, they're gonna make it all about them. They're gonna be mother of the year. They're gonna walk around and, I'm perfect, right? She even tried to cut my stepmother out of the photos. The stepmother and dad who paid for the entire wedding, who were there to support her. And we don't hear much about the stepmother other than this moment, but it shows that her dad is very involved. He was there to help. He was there to stand by her and support her. And so I'm assuming the stepmother, was there too. And for this mom just to come in and do all this is it's terrible. She told everyone that I wouldn't let her wear the dress she picked out, the white one. And she repeatedly reminded me of how sad she was that my sister wasn't there to celebrate, as if it were my fault. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell. Okay, I know that started off that I was like, wait, I've read this story before, but I only read a really small snippet that she'd sent me on Instagram during a confession. So I'm really glad that we got more details of the story because so many people asked like, wait, what happened next? Did she actually hang up? And I did part 1, or I guess like a mini skit a couple weeks ago on it. And people kept saying like, well, what happened after? And I was like, I don't know. She didn't send anything else. So we may have to go back and put this out there. But that is insane. There's so much I can say about this. The fact that they didn't encourage the daughter or the sister to come to the wedding. I don't know how close they are. Living that far apart, being 10 years apart, they maybe aren't that close. But you'd want to kind of encourage or like foster that relationship a little bit. So it's just really disappointing that people are going to act like that. I'm very grateful for her that she has an involved dad and stepmother because, I can't imagine having a relationship with a mother that way that just makes it all about her and can't even like step aside for a little bit just to let her daughter shine. All right, guys, that's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.